He wants to give people what he thinks they want. He wants to be who he is.
The first time I seen bro was on Instagram. When you see somebody, you get a thought in your head, but actually meeting him in person, I was totally wrong.
Even if I didn't have tattoos, if they don't know Cully, I think people look at me and be like, whoever this guy is, he's pretty like sure of himself. Like I rock with him.
He's an entertainer.
Young Cully, you know, the VAMP guy, and I'm an artist. I feel like I'm still the same person growing up, as far as like always been pretty observant, always been pretty like creative, you know, like in my head, like trying to visualize like ideas, like always been against the trends, always been like pretty like out of the box.
I used to go in his room and he was always on his knees and he was always in a prayerful position. He was just real sweet, real loving, and close to his mom. He loves family. And I used to say, what are you praying for? And he would just be praying for some of everything, everybody and anybody. He just loved people. He was a social butterfly. He just likes getting to know people. There's no place that we can go where someone don't know him. We went to St. Louis one time and they was like, hey, Cullen. I'm like, well, how do you know him? You know, so he's always been a social butterfly. And people always told me, he can come to my house anytime. He's such a sweet kid. We just love him. Teachers, everything.
Actually meeting him in person, I was totally wrong. Real respectable, real mannered.
Oh yeah, that's a bro. That's a bro. Like for sure. So I'm Rich Deezy. I'm the producer, make the beats and shit, create the vibe, you know. He was performing, he was performing with Max. Shout out Max too. I met him, you know, backstage and shit, just saying what's up. That was the first time I heard like his music, same with Max. And I thought it was dope.
I always knew he was gonna be different. I was different growing up. You know, you have your own style, your own thoughts. There's things you wanna do, things you wanna accomplish. And I always knew that as young as when he started walking, he was just different. He was just different from everybody else. I think it was California, and when he came back, he had changed. He had this desire to entertain people. You know, that's when I really started to notice a big change in him, when he really wanted to get into entertainment.
I knew I loved music though. I mean, I was always around it. I mean, as far as like, my mom, I liked the music she played. My dad, being a drummer, being around him at his shows and stuff. Musical influences could be Lil Wayne, Prince, Ye, Luther Vandross.
He likes that because of me. You know, he knows I like old school music. And don't get me wrong, they say things about King Von, but I thought he was a genius. I like who he's trying to be. He has his favorites, but he just wants to be himself, so.
Really like middle school too, when me and some friends that I made back then, we used to jerk. And when we had a jerk group, that's when we used to try to make songs and stuff. And that's when it really hit, like, I felt like I could really like be good at that. My musical style is, I developed that through liking to perform. While you have that time set or whatever, it's 10 minutes, you just gotta be in another world, just, you know, like perform basically. Don't be afraid to be fully in the moment type stuff. So when I went to JCCC, I took a theater class and I ended up understanding kind of like the art of being able to be in front of people. And I had a public speaking class there too, actually, and that helped too, actually, because that just is what showed me like how to like, while you have that time set or whatever, it's 10 minutes, you just gotta be in another world. Basically, I got my musical style from liking to perform. Thought about it, like what would be cool to, like, you know what I'm saying, what would be cool to perform, because no offense to lyricists, but like, lyricists can't necessarily perform rock star type stuff, you know.
We've been linked up multiple times on we need to cook up in the stew and shit like that, but last year we finally got to link up to the stew. He invited me to a stew session he had with Gotti. shit, he recorded like 3-4 songs just right then and there to my beats. And then on, he just started recording on my shit, and that was like last October. Like I actually like November time for real, 2025. So not too long, but we've been cooking up the tape ever since.
Well, there's one lady that I work with that truly loves color. And now that he's doing the Rage music, is it Rage? She's like, what is he doing? That's all dark and everything. I don't care if he has fangs in, blood dripping down his mouth. Inside, he's still the same person. He's an entertainer.
Rage music, if you literally listen to my stuff, I have songs talking about where I'm back against the wall, but getting up, trying to like succeed. Like that's all literally my subject matter. But like obviously I got subject matter where I'm saying some vulgar stuff, but I'm also talking motivation too though. I make sure I mix it. As far as my personal style, I always had style though. People that I went to school with always will say I always had a different style though. I've always had like style. I feel like me and my friend that time, we used to get in trouble for like cutting our shirts. I used to cut my shirt up and he had like colorful skinny jeans and stuff. He used to like bleach my jeans for me and stuff. Like I was always on some like out the box dressing, I guess.
The first time he got a tattoo, he said, you're not supposed to get a tattoo. God said you're not supposed to mark up your body. And I was playing with him. I said, at least you could have got my name. What did he do? He went back and got my name. I said, I was just kidding. And then he started getting tattoos on his face. Well, once we were at the school, because he worked with me in a program with kids, and it was hot, it was really burning up. And he had this long sleeve shirt on. And I said, what are you covering up? Well, he got another tattoo. Then he started getting them on his face. And I said, promise me you don't get any more on your face. And at first I was like, why are you marking up that beautiful face? When I look at Cullen, I don't see tattoos. I see him. I see who he is inside. Of course, I do notice the tattoos and I notice when he gets a new one, but I see him because it's all in the eyes. If you look in a person's eyes, that's where you find out who a person is. And I can see it in his eyes.
Like from what I get, people always be saying that I like look, people be saying I look beautiful though. It be women that be saying like, you just look beautiful. Like I'll be like, thank you, I guess, but no. But people always want to talk to me though. In general, people do always be like, I'll be like, oh my God, I just love your tattoos. Or oh my God, I love your piercings. Or not even if we talk about that, but just in general, I think that my look is a very open look. Like, I mean, as far as musical status, we could say rising, right? Like, I'm the type person, I think my look doesn't give off like standoffish. I think I give off pretty open to talk to. So that's how, so as far as affecting stuff, I mean, obviously there might be judgment, but there would be judgment even if I didn't have like tattoos or anything. I mean, I think people look at me and be like, whoever this guy is, if they don't know CULLEY, then they're like, man, this guy, a stranger is like, bro, this dude looks pretty like sure of himself. Like I rock with him. He got like style. Like dudes too, not even just women. Like men, like literally just be like, hey, bro, your style fire, bro. I think people can respect, even if you don't understand or get it. I think you can respect like somebody that's just like true to themselves, though, willing to just be themselves. Not even that myself has to be tattoos or anything, but because that's not even defining me. That's just me with accessories, I guess.
I'm not a VAMP type person. Like me personally, like he brings that element, and so I think it's dope. The VAMP wave, I think even CULLEY, he brings like a different element to the VAMP movement itself. That's why he has his own unique sound, and I think him putting the VAMP on my style and type of beats is moving VAMP like in a different direction and moving it forward.
Obviously, I didn't necessarily have to get tattoos to prove the point, but at the time, it's just like, I just feel like, why live in like, bro, if we only live once, right? Now, even though we do reincarnate, I feel like, even though that's like probably like 200 years from now type stuff. But in this lifetime, I mean, if that's something that you want to do, if somebody that feels the urge to want to get tattooed, because like when I got into the tattoo world, I'm still like kind of a rookie in the tattoo world. Because when I go around people with more tattoos like that been having them, they rock them so confidently, and it be hard. It's different. I actually kind of like being a part of that club, bro, the Rockstar Tattoo Club. I mean, I didn't ever know I was gonna have tattoos. It didn't necessarily say I was gonna get some on my face type stuff. And anyway, I don't even know why that's so significant. They're all just regular tattoos. Like, for one, not everybody with tattoos is a thug or is like scary or something or misunderstood. And two, not everybody just because you have tattoos gotta look bad. I feel like I was like, once I started wearing them, I'm like, that's what I am, a definition of that. Vamp Lord, you know.
Inside, he's still the same person. He's an entertainer. He wants to give people what he thinks they want. He wants to be who he is, but he's not that blood and fangs and everything. He's an entertainer.
I always was creative and like kind of like a visionary, I feel like, but I didn't necessarily have the confidence. Like for me, it's always been confidence. It's kind of still confidence, but I know how to, we've been living, you know how to mask that now, you know. But I'm just saying, and back then there was just no confidence. Now I'm just a lot more sure of who I am as a person. I mean, you know, so it's like, it's different. Like it's different. Like that's why I'm able to have tattoos freely. I mean, or whatever, and stuff going on, be a rock star, right? Or just be me. I'm just saying the rock star part for the music, but my mom's here, so I gotta be more specific. But I'm just saying, like, like that's why I'm able to do that freely, because I'm just more sure if I am as a person. So I know no outside negative noise really bothers me.
I hope that his future goes exactly where he wants it to go. I hope that he makes it in the music industry. I think he's talented. I think he has a lot to offer. It's supposed to be love, feel like war. It's like a